Hey folks, it's Leo Alderpold. Hope you're all doing well. Well, I've decided to get out of the house today because I'm getting a bit of cabin fever. I'm still waiting for my flat to get sorted out so that I can move into that. Hopefully another couple of days and I'll be able to get in there, which will be great because I'm just looking forward to getting settled for a little while, to be honest. Getting my business going properly and just sort of being focused. Anyway, get the housekeeping out of the way first. I'm smoking in the Sir Douglas, which has fast become one of my favourite pocket pipes. From Salty Dog. Really love this tobacco. But as is usual for me, I'm not really here to talk about tobacco and pipes, because that gets boring after a while, doesn't it? I've actually come out to a woodland. I'm not sure if I've brought you here before. When I was living up this way last time, I may have done, I can't remember. In any case, it's a beautiful day. I figured I'd come out, have a little bit of a wander around, a bit of a forage, see if I can find some mushrooms. Wood bluets particularly, I found in this woodland in quite heavy numbers. But I've actually come out to a part of the forest that I've never been to before, which I'm really glad I did, because now this is probably going to bore the crap out of people who are not interested in trees or woodland management or any of that sort of stuff. So bear with me, but who cares? I'm getting really excited because what I'm standing in here is actually something that I've been raving about for years to people. So it's really nice to come out to a place and see it actually put into practice, because it's not done often enough. So this mixture that I'm standing in is predominantly oak, but it's got sycamore as a nurse crop. Now, sycamore's got a bit of a checkered history here, because there's one camp that say, oh, it's non-native, or we've got to get rid of it, it's terrible stuff. And then there's others, who I like to think are the enlightened ones, who think, well, actually no, sycamore's pretty decent, it's got a place, you've just got to manage it properly. So it's interesting that the historically, well, we now know it. We now call it what we call an honorary non-native species. So there's still this camp that that believes it's not native, but this is in major dispute, because the way that people determine whether or not a species is a native to this country is to go back through the pollen record, and what people have surmised is that sycamore wasn't in the pollen record. However, the pollen of sycamore is very similar to the pollen of field maple, which is a native. So there's a lot of dispute as to whether or not it's native here, the sycamore. I'm in the camp that I think, well, it probably was here, to be honest. It's pretty prolific, and it grows pretty much anywhere, so why wouldn't it be? As the ice sheets retreated 10,000 years ago or whatever, why wouldn't there be sycamore popping up? Oh well, in any case, it's a moot point. But a lot of foresters don't like it because it tends to throw heavy shade, dense leaf litter. It's full of aphids, it's what they consider to be an invasive. Let's see if I can pop you up on a tree here. Hang on. Yeah. Well, that's the angle we might have to work with, unfortunately. Yep. So you're just going to have to put up with me here in the corner momentarily. Anyway, the reason I'm excited is because what I'm seeing here is how it has been put to really good effect at acting as a nurse crop for this oak. So there's some fantastic oak here. Like right behind me, there's this one here. Yep, if you can see that one there. Beautiful form on that. Look at that. Wonderful. Now that's going to have a lot to do with the genetics of the oak itself, but a lot of it is going to be how it's managed underneath this nurse crop of sycamore. and it's doing really well, which I'm really pleased about. It's been well thinned. This plantation's been really well thinned, so everything's at a really nice sort of spacing to allow the oak to come on, and the sycamore is growing along upside it, but doing what sycamore does, which is gradually sort of get affected by senescence. It gets nobbled by squirrels and all sorts, and sort of tends to get a bit bitty sometimes, fall to bits. But that's fine because it makes really good firewood, and for various other things as well. So anyway, yeah, I've been telling clients for years, before when I was in the Forestry Commission and now as a self-employed person, I tell people there's nothing really wrong with sycamore. You've just got to manage it properly. And to wander around a woodland like this and see where it has been managed properly and see what it can do is just brilliant for me. Yeah, I'm very chuffed. The good thing about sycamore is it acts as a sacrificial species as well. If you want to plant oak and you want to grow good oak in this country, the major problem that you've got are the squirrels, because we've got the American grey squirrel here, which I think I've talked about in previous videos, and they absolutely muller all of our native broadleafs. You tend to find a plantation of oak get to about 15-16 years old, and in one summer, overnight, the squirrel population will decimate the whole lot of it, because they'll ring bark around the crowns before they've gotten away, and you end up with bonsai trees. That's it. They're knackered. You can't grow decent timber. But one way you can kind of get around that, as well as managing your squirrel population, is to put in sacrificial trees. And the squirrels love the sycamore. They will always go for the sycamore above anything else, if it's around, if it's accessible. And that's what they've done here. And you can see, I'm not sure if let's see if I can angle the camera properly. Yeah, that one there, I think it is. Yep, has been absolutely mullered by the squirrels, but the oak standing next to it is absolutely fine. Brilliant. And you'll see tops of some of these sycamores here behind me where they've been topped out by squirrels, but the oak, perfectly good. Now once the bark gets, once the oak gets away and the bark gets thick enough, the squirrels won't be able to touch it. And if you can keep them off it for that period of time, and let the oak get away, give the squirrels something else to do, then it's happy days. And I think that's pretty much what they've done here. So yeah, bit of a woodsy ramble from me. Beautiful woodland, really, really nicely thinned. This is managed by the Forestry Commission, and ordinarily I think, quite frankly, the Forestry Commission's management is absolute shite. But here in this woodland at least, it's been done really well. It's been done really well. So it's a real pleasure to see. But anyway, that's it from me for today, for the moment. I just thought I'd give you an enthusiastic ramble about the benefits of having sycamore. Anyways, you take care, you folks. Catch up with you again soon.